Hello and welcome. So there's many YouTube videos on learning chords, but most of them, actually all of them that I've seen, put lots of letters on screen, do very detailed explanations. However, this is perhaps aimed at a student who really wants to just get on and play the chords. You can, of course, look at other things and other videos to help you out, to learn your spacing and everything like that, but I'm just going to go ahead and play them and get you to copy them. I do obviously understand all the mathematics and the music theory behind it, and if it's requested, I can make another video like that. However, this one's going to very specifically be for just going ahead and getting all your chords on your white notes learnt, and then all your chords using your thumb starting on your black notes. I'm going to leave out my left hand totally, so my left hand's not going to be needed, and we're just going to use our right hand here. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to do a C major chord. And like I said, I'm going to just dive straight in. You will need a slight bit of piano knowledge, but to be honest, if you want to stop and start the video and practice these chords, you will get this, I would say, within a couple of days. You might need to practice your coordination, but certainly your understanding of it is going to be very quick. So, this is a C major chord. And again, I'm not going to explain why it's C major, just going to tell you. And when you read this from lead sheets or from music sheets, it's just the letter C here. It's not got anything next to it. Okay, so there's your C major chord. Here's my D major chord. You can see my D major chord has a black note in the middle. And I'm very rigidly sticking to only using my first, my third and my fifth finger. I'm going to curl these ones out the way, so it's easier for you to see what I'm playing. When you play, you need to make sure that you've always got those fingers out. So there's my D major. Here's my E major chord. Again, this has a black note in the middle. And when you read this from lead sheets or so those really easy Disney books, really easy is the name of the company, they look like this. I'm sure many people have them. So this is just an example of a Frozen one, but they're the really easy piano collections. These are brilliant. And obviously there's actually hundreds of these by the Hal Leonard Corporation. So there's your E chord. And obviously I'm relating my E note on my thumb to the chord. F major chord, so we're sticking with those majors, and again I'm skipping, leapfrogging over one note. G major chord, A major, has the C sharp in the middle, so we've got a black note in the middle this time. It's really easy to find these black notes, it's just a little bit of coordination. Instead of playing white, 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 you go white, you raise the middle white note up to the black, and then white at the top. And then the final one is a little bit more tricky, so you have to be careful here. This one goes B, D, and this pinky here, I'm not going to do this stretch. I'm going to slide my hand in so I can reach comfortably and play the black note. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is raise my third to play this black note too. Okay, and this is called B major chord. Now B major is probably the most difficult when you start learning of everything I've shown you today. Okay, because it goes black, white, so it goes white, black, black. And you can do it by colours, that's helpful. Some keyboards are obviously the other way around. Some of them are all black. Some of the Korg ones are black and red. So the colours we can just use on this typical kind of piano so that it can help you out when you're first learning your chords. And go back to the beginning. Here's C major. You can pause the video as you want to make sure you can find these chords. G major. E major. F major. G major. A major, and the all-important B major. Okay, I've now reached my octave, so that chord there, which is C major, here's a C, because it's on the left of the two black notes, is equivalent to there, okay? So there is my other C. So these are the same, which is why today I've only gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chords. And that teaches you every major chord on the white notes. Now, black notes, there's 5 of them, they also have major chords associated. So we're now going to deal with this one. When you do the black notes, it's often much harder when you start learning. When you're familiar with it, it's just as easy. But when you start learning, it's harder. So here is a C sharp major chord. And note, if you've got some music knowledge, you'll know this can also be called a D flat major chord, yeah? So this is C sharp or D flat major. I'm using the C sharp or D flat, the F, and the G sharp or A flat. Now for the purpose of the video, because you can see what I'm playing, I'm going to stick with everything in sharps, okay? So there's that C sharp major chord. Now we move on to the next one. D sharp major, which can also be E flat major. Looks like this. It's black, white in the middle, black on the outside. Again, you can take some time to get familiar with this, and of course your fingers will be like this. I've got mine curled so you can see. The middle one is perhaps the easiest chord of all, I think. it goes black, black, black. That's nice and simple. And that is F sharp major chord. That's a lovely sounding chord, which can also be G flat major. Next one is A flat major, which can also be G sharp major. And the final one is B flat major. Now this can be called A sharp major, but honestly, A sharp major is incredibly rare to see. They would almost always write B flat major. And so that goes B flat, D, and F. Okay, and what you can do now is you can pause this as you go to try and learn these chords. I'm going to do one chord in order. So here's the first. C major chord. C sharp major, or D flat. D major. E flat major, or D sharp major. E major. F major. F sharp major, all blacks here. G major. A flat major, or G sharp major. A major. B flat major, or very rarely A sharp major. B major. And finally, returning to a C major. Okay, and you can now practice some exercises along with this to help familiarise yourself with the chords. If you can learn these major chords starting on here, you will have learnt every single major chord in Western style music. There aren't any more. And that's why I think these are so fun to start teaching early on in your piano lessons. So a lot of teachers, even some friends, might save these up to learn a bit later on once my students or once their students have learned their sight reading and how to read music a bit. But you can go ahead and learn these early on, and actually, to your happiness, it will be able to teach you how to read lead sheet music very quickly, and going along your knowledge of reading music notes and sheet music, you can learn very big pieces very quickly. So for an example, like from this Frozen book, in here you've got, let me see if I can angle this correctly, you've got a melody and you've got chords underneath. Now you might not be able to read all of this, however with chords, eventually once I've taught you the minors as well, you'll be able to read those and play the tune along, and you'll be able to get the tune very, very quickly and build up something really quite amazing. I'm deliberately not going to play the tune in case I get a copyright strike for it. So I just thought I'd show you that visually. Right, so next thing to do is to make sure that you can do an exercise to learn them. So we're doing what's called triads, because I'm sticking with triad from the Greek word tria. So we're going to be doing 3 notes only. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to do C major, and again, and you notice I'm deliberately not walking down. There are some exercises where students and teachers go downwards. We're going to just walk up. So we go thumb, thumb, thumb. 3 goes. Okay, see if you can do that. You can pause the video as you need to. C sharp major. So 3 times walking up. And you get the idea, and you can do that for every single one. Now, if you've got a piece which, say, uses C major, F major, and G major, you might like to just try those ones, get those really good, try some exercises, walking up, skip all the middle, then straight to F, and then you make it relevant for yourself. And perhaps as you go through other pieces that use different chords, then you could do this kind of exercise on that. Now it's very, very simple, and it doesn't take long to learn. Most of my students learn this within 2 weeks. So I'd like you to set yourself that challenge of being able to recall every single one of these chords within 2 weeks, okay? And then what I'll do in our lessons, I'll just say C major, get you to play it, hand back on lap. F major, hand back on lap. E flat major. So you can recall these really, really quickly. Now this is only majors. We'll do another one on minors. If you want to for fun, remember our hands actually mirror each other. So our pinky on our left, here's my right hand. My pinky on my left hand will be equal to my thumb. My middle fingers will obviously match, and my pinky on my right hand will be equal to my thumb on my left hand. So when I play thumb here, I play pinky here. Middle is middle. Pinky on the right is thumb on left. And I can actually do these exercises, if I want to be a little bit more advanced, I can try them like so with both hands, and I can also do my exercises with both hands. Moving, moving. So my grade 6, 7 and 8 students are really familiar with this, and they will actually do an exercise like this, perhaps for a warm-up, going. You can see it's all kept happy, because it's all major chords, because it's the major chords that create that happy sound. And then they can go down, etc, etc. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope that has helped you with working out all your major chords. Like I said, there's deliberately no theory behind it, just wanted to show you, so it didn't take very long. Okay, and good luck with learning those. When you read these in books or when you read them in my lessons, these will be the chords that are followed by no letter. So this will literally be called, if you see a C, you play that. If you see a C sharp, you play that. A D, play that. There are like CM, DM, which is for minor, and there's also some 7s and some 9s, and there's some flat 5s and flat 9s. It can get really complicated, but for now we're just going to learn those majors. And good luck with learning it, and let me know in the comments how you go. And if you're one of my own students, I'll see you next week for the lesson, and we'll see how you're getting on with learning these. Okay, well done everybody, and I'll see you shortly.